Do you take the teachings of Jesus seriously? How do you relate to the world around you? Let's take a look at the biblical church of Smyrna and see how they lived out their love for God. Smyrna was an ancient Greek port city located 40 miles north of Ephesus, along the Aegean coast of ancient Anatolia. The city of Smyrna does not appear in any of Paul's writings, so it is doubtful he ever stayed here. However, some scholars believe he may have passed through on occasion. Our biblical connection with Smyrna comes from the mention of the church as a recipient of one of the 7 letters to the church from John of Patmos in Revelation 2. Unlike towards some of the other churches, similar to the church in Philadelphia, there is no rebuke in this letter, but only praise for how they are living out their faith in their world. In the letter, the members of the church are told that regardless of their afflictions and their poverty, they are rich. This statement would have conveyed emotion for the readers of the early church, who would have noticed a logical problem with this statement. Smyrna was known to be a wealthy city in continual economic competition with both Pergamum and Ephesus. So why would a church in such a prominent and wealthy city have been so afflicted and poor? Was it because they could not find work because of their beliefs? Or perhaps, as discussed by many scholars, it may be more likely that the church was trying to follow the model of the church presented in Acts 2 verse 45, where the church in Jerusalem freely gave all it had to those in need. It seems the church in Smyrna was taking the teachings of Jesus seriously. They were doing the will of God by financially taking care of those in their community. They put the words of Jesus in Acts 20 into action. It is more blessed to give than to receive. In addition, the church of Smyrna was similar to the church of Philadelphia in another way, as it appeared its believers were involved in issues with local Jewish communities, as some were not living in accordance to the law of the Lord. The text says in Revelation 2 verse 9, "I know about the slander of those who say they are Jews and are not, but are a synagogue of Satan." I'll leave you with this. How do you incorporate the actions of the church of Smyrna and the words of Jesus into your daily life? They dealt with slander, afflictions, and poverty. Do you deal with any of these issues? If Smyrna did take after the church in Jerusalem to sell all they had to help the poor, what does that mean for us? Jesus focused much of his life in teaching toward those who were afflicted, downtrodden, those who needed charity, those who were outcast and slandered against, and brought them mercy and hope. They dealt with slander and afflictions, yet maintained their strong faith. What does that mean for us? They endured because they were rich and knew they had victory in their relationship with God. We too are rich in our relationship with God. The letter in Revelation to Smyrna ends with this verse: "Be faithful, even to the point of death, and I will give you life as your victor's crown." Be encouraged in whatever your circumstances may be. If you choose a relationship with God, you are rich in the Lord.